Hi guys, this is Vixxstarr and today I'm going to show you how to make these super cute amigurumi, so hook only, 3D squishy stuffed heart. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really simple design. You can make it bigger if you like, and I'll try and show you how to do that as well. So I hope you can follow. But yeah, we're having a storm at the moment, so I'm sorry this video is a little bit rushed. You will need to fast forward, rewind and pause. But yeah, so firstly, I just want to dedicate this design to one of my lovely and beautiful followers, Hannah Capel, who has requested this and been very patient with me. Also, I'll just pop a little shout out for her. You can check out her website and her cause, and if you're in the right place to do so, please give a little. Let's get into it and make ourselves one of these squishy hearts. I'm going to be using Rainbow Loom's Fushia, the pink and the red for this project. So my heart will be a mixture of those three. I will be using the fuchsia for what I call the stitching, and the lines will be the pink and the red. So where you see the purple and the blue are going to be pink and red, and all of the pink will be the stitching in fuchsia. Now you can choose whatever colours you like. You will need approximately 320 bands in total. So for the stitching it's about 150, 160 bands. The other two just over or just under 100 if you're going to do two. If you're choosing two colours, around 150 of each should work. But yeah, so we will be doing this exact size. I will tell you how you can make it bigger while we are going through it. And you can decide, this is an awesome beginner's project. So I do advise, if you want to do it the first time, just follow me exactly. And then after you've made that one, yeah, have a bit of an experiment and change your colours, and you don't have to make it into a balloon, but you can. It's totally up to you. At the end I will be using two hooks just to make it a little bit easier to close it off. So if you wanted to get another hook or you know, just like a band holder ready. We're going to start off at the top of the heart, so we're going to do the two top parts first, then we will join it here, and we'll come down and we'll finish it at the bottom. I'm going to start with my fuchsia. I'm going to take one single band and I'm going to wrap it so that it's around my hook 3 times. Then I'm going to take another fuchsia band and I'm going to feed that through that wrapped band and reclaim it. Okay, so that's what you should have. Now we're going to get another band, but we're going to make it our first stripe. So the colour that the purple is, I'm going to move on to pink. So we've got wrapped band, fuchsia band, placing a pink band, pulling it through and reclaiming. That's what it should look like. That's one stitch. We're going to put 8 stitches through that centre. That's going to be our centre cap band. So that's one. So we're going to go back through that centre cap band, get all 3 pieces on your hook, like so. Grab another fuchsia band, feed it through just that cap and reclaim it, and then grab another pink band, your outside colour, feed it through all of those. So we're going to do it again, back through that centre, fuchsia band, grabbing a pink for the outside, through all of those bands. Back through the center, fuchsia band, grabbing another pink, pulling it through all those bands. Back through the center, just pulling a fuchsia, grabbing another pink, pulling it through all those bands, back through the center, grabbing another fuchsia, grabbing another pink, pulling it through. So you should be able to count. This is why I've done it in different colours. All the pink bands, 1 stitch, 2 stitches, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going 7, another one through the centre, fuchsia, and the pink on the outside. So that's 7. So for our 8th, we're going to go through the centre, pull a fuchsia band, making sure you've got all those, yep, centre bands, fuchsia band, and then grab your first stitch that was the pink. See there? Just go through that, grab a pink, so we've got the last pink, the fuchsia in the middle, and then the first pink, pull a pink through all those bands, and that is our first round done, like so. So now we're going to move on to our next colour, still using the fuchsia bands for our stitching. Pop a fuchsia band on, straight on top, pulling it through that pink, and then moving on because the next one will be red. So now we've got our first round with the pink, fuchsia in the middle, and then red. The next row we're going to be increasing to make it bigger. So we've got our fuchsia and our red. We're going to go into the next, see how we've got that pink there? We're going to go into the next pink, the teardrop stitch. We're going to pull a fuchsia, then we're going to pull a red. Sorry, I'm getting confused with my colours. Then we're going to go back through that same stitch that we just went into. We're going to do it again. Pull a fuchsia through that one, and then pull a red through all of those. Okay, so we've just put 2 stitches into that one pink. We're going to do that again to the next pink. Go through the next pink, pull a fuchsia band, and then for me a red. Again through that same stitch. Pull a fuchsia band through that pink, and then a red. So now onto the next pink stitch, fuchsia band, red, again in that same pink stitch, fuchsia, red, doing exactly the same thing all the way around. So doing 2 and then moving on to the next pink stitch, pulling a fuchsia and a red, and again same pink stitch, pulling a fuchsia and a red, moving to the next fuchsia, red, same stitch, fuchsia, red, juggling bands. So now onto the next pink stitch, fuchsia, red, and again same stitch, fuchsia, red. Next pink stitch is our last stitch, so we'll pull fuchsia through, red through all of those, and then another fuchsia through that same stitch, red through all of those, and we're up to the end because we have that single one there. we're going to add a stitch in there to make it a double. So pulling a fuchsia through that pink stitch that we started with. And then grabbing that first red. So we've got the first red fuchsia we just did and the red, grabbing a red and pulling it through. And that's our second round done for the top of one of our top side of our heart. So now, if you count, you should have 16 stitches around, so counting the one on your hook as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Go ahead and start with your next piece. If you're wanting to make your heart bigger than this, I will show you now how you can add another row to make it that bit bigger all the way around. It will give you more stitches when you're joining the two pieces together. So it will use obviously more bands, but if you want to make it the exact size that this one is here, then I want you to keep that piece that you've just made and go on and make that same piece again, exactly the same. So starting with your triple cap in the fuchsia, and then pulling a fuchsia through that one, adding a pink onto the end of that, and that is one stitch. So going back through that triple cap band, pulling a fuchsia through it, keeping that pink, grabbing a pink, pulling it through all those, that is 2 stitches. So then again 3. So you're going to go ahead, do 8 stitches through that, rewind, watch it again, and I will see you when you have 2 pieces exactly the same and we will join them together. Like I said, if you want to add another round and make your heart bigger, keep watching. If not, fast forward through this next bit. I will put down below where to fast forward to. Wish you could see my facials. And I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so that's the end of our second round. Now we're going to move on to our third. We're going to do fuchsia and pink again. So we're going to add a fuchsia, and then we're going to add a pink, because that's going to be our border again, pink, and we're back up to that stitch. For this round we're going to single, double, single, double. So leaving that as a single, in that first red that's coming off, so this one, we're going to pull 2. So we'll go fuchsia, pink through all of them, and then again through the same stitch, fuchsia, and then pink through all of them. The next stitch we're just going to do a single, so we're going to pull a fuchsia and then a pink through all of them. Moving on to the next, we're going to do a double, fuchsia, pink, and then the same stitch again, fuchsia, pink. So looking back at what we've done, we've started single, double, single, double. So the next one we're going to go single, and then we're going to go double again. Single, double, all the way around till we get back. Single, double, fuchsia, pink. Do the same one again, fuchsia, pink. Next one is a single, pink. And the next one, double, fuchsia, pink, same stitch. So I talk to myself all the way through pretty much anyway, so that I can remember exactly where I'm up to. I'm not having to look back and count my stitches all the time. Some might say I'm crazy, but if you look, you can look back at each red. There's 2 through that one, and then 1. So then I'm going to the next and doing 2. Fuchsia, pink. Next one's a single. Fuchsia, pink. Next one is a double. Fuchsia, pink. Again through the same one. Fuchsia, pink. Next red's a single, fuchsia, pink. Next red is a double. Making sure I'm just getting my reds. Fuchsia, pink. I'm on my last stitch next. So that's a single. And we're just going to leave it as a single, even though that one's a single, it doesn't matter. So we've fed that last fuchsia through that stitch, and we're going to grab the first pink before we grab another pink and feed it through. So that's that third row done. Now what I want you to do, keep that aside. You can put it on your holding hook, whatever's easiest for you. Rewind. I'm going to go on and do another one and come back to you. So rewind, do exactly the same thing all over again. Okay, so now you should have 2 pieces that look something like this. 2 pieces that are exactly the same on your hook. You may have 2 pieces that are bigger if you decided to go on and do another round. But the concept of joining these 2 and finishing the heart is exactly the same. So you've got those 2 on your hook. We are going to grab a single fuchsia. We are going to pull it through all of those off our hook. Then you are going to grab your next colour, which is the pink. So pull a pink through and reclaim it. Now we are going to move straight on to that same stitch there, that red one that we've just joined, but it's only one piece, you see. We're going to move on straight to that red one, pull through a fuchsia, and then pull through a pink through all of those, and then we're just going to move straight on to the next red stitch. So basically what we're doing is we're going to go around the whole thing, just 1 to 1, single stitch into each single stitch. So fuchsia and then pink. That's where you've joined it. Your first stitch there, gone into that first red one that's joined to, put a stitch, then into the next red one, put a stitch. So we're going into the next red one. I'm going to pull through a fuchsia, reclaim it, grab a pink, pull a pink through all of those. And I want you to do this all the way around. So fuchsia, pink, next red stitch, fuchsia, pink, through all of those, next red stitch, fuchsia, pink, next red stitch, fuchsia. It's just started raining outside here. Don't know if you can hear that. Next red stitch, fuchsia, and then pink through all those. Next stitch, and pink. Next stitch, pull fuchsia through and then pink. So we're just doing a single row around that whole first piece until we get back to where we started. Fuchsia, pink onto the next stitch, fuchsia, pink onto the next stitch, fuchsia, pink. Now I'm coming up to where I started. Next stitch, fuchsia, pink. So now we're up to the opposite side pretty much of where we started. There's that first stitch there of that side and the fuchsia one in the middle that's joining the two pieces. What I want you to do is go through that first stitch and pull a fuchsia as you normally would, and then pull a pink or whatever colours you're using. And then to be a little bit tricky, see those two pieces, that red stitch there and that red stitch there. I want you to get your hook and go through just the top. So I want you to go through like where that fuchsia's going. With your hook, go through those two top. Then on the other side, go through the two top. Grab a fuchsia band and pull it through underneath just that one and that one there. Replace it on your hook. So we've just basically done the same thing that we did on that side, but on the opposite side. Now grab a pink and off all of those on your hook on there. Move on to the next red. Pull a fuchsia through, pull a pink through, and carry on all the way around this side, just putting one stitch, fuchsia through each of the red stitches and bordering with that pink. So I'm going to keep going with this, and I'm going to just fast forward it, and I'll meet you back right where we started. Okay, so I'm up to the second last one here. Putting in the fuchsia and the pink. Now I'm up to this last red before it changes over to those fuchsias there that join the pieces. Put in the fuchsia like you normally would, but then go and grab that first pink, have that on your hook as well, and grab a single pink and pull it through all of the ones on your hook. So that's that round done. So push your pieces up on your hook so that you can have a look at them. They almost look like some eyes or something. Obviously, if you've done the extra round, your pieces will be bigger, but this is how the small one should look. Now we are going to go around again, so our next colours, putting on, adding that fuchsia. What we need to do for this round, looking at that fuchsia in there that joins the two pieces, is our middle. What we want to do is have the one that we're on at the moment with the fuchsia there, the one in the middle, and the next one all joined in one stitch. So before we add our next band, we're going to go back into the next pink, pull a fuchsia through and keep that on our hook, then go into the next pink, pull a fuchsia through and keep that on our hook also. So we got 1, 2, 3, that's 1, 2, 3 there. Now grab your red, or for me is red, which is my border, pull that single red band through all of those fuchsias on my hook, and basically that's our first stitch. So we've just turned those three into one. Now we're just going to go 1 to 1 all the way around till we get to that spot again on the opposite side. So the next pink, going into the next pink, pulling a fuchsia, and then a red through all of those. Going into the next pink, pulling a fuchsia, and then a red. Into the next pink, pulling a fuchsia, then a red. And the next pink, pulling a fuchsia. So I'm going to keep going like this, and I'm going to fast forward, and I will slow up when I get to about there, and I'll show you how to do the same thing on the opposite side. Just following on with a single stitch into each of these pink stitches. Okay, so I've gotten around to here, so you can see that center stitch there is joining the two. So I've got one more stitch to go in and just put a single, pulling through fuchsia and then red. So now we've got 1, 2, 3. The next 3 pink, so you can see the center stitch of the next 3 is the one that's joined to the center stitch that's joining the two pieces. So I want you to go through the first one and just pull a fuchsia band through the next one and just pull a fuchsia band. I need more fuchsia bands. through the next one again. So that's 3, and pull a fuchsia band. So you should have your 2 red there, and then a fuchsia band through that one, the next one, and the next one. Grab a red, pull it through all of those, and that's those 3 that we've turned into 1 stitch, just like we did on the opposite side. Follow on to the next pink, just like a single stitch, pull a fuchsia through, and then a red, onto the next pink stitch, single fuchsia, red, next pink stitch, and so on. We're just going to carry on back around to where we got to. I'll fast forward, putting a single stitch in each of those pink till we get back to the start. Okay, so now I'm up to second last. Just putting that single stitch through that pink. So you can see we're up to the second last pink. Bringing a single fuchsia through. So single fuchsia through that second last stitch, or the second last pink should I say. We're up to there. Grab that, see that next fuchsia? Grab the red, so you've got that on your hook as well. Grab another red and pull it through all of those. So this is what you should have. That's the top of your heart. Nearly lost it then. There's that stitch right here, which is our middle one that joins the 2 pieces. We've just done a row, another row on top of that. So now we're going to go on to our next row. What I want to do is decrease it. So there we go, I've just flipped it inside out. You can see that's the top of your heart. What we're going to do, doesn't matter which way you hold it, inside or outside, as long as you're still going the same way that you were with your hook. We're going to go in, put a fuchsia straight through that band where we ended. Our next row is going to be pink, so we'll go fuchsia and then add a pink. That's our single stitch. The next stitch I want to do a decrease. So the next red, go through, pull a fuchsia through it, hold it there, go to the next red, next stitch, pull a fuchsia through it. So now you've got 2 fuchsias in your pink. Now grab your single pink, pull it through all those bands. So we've just done a decrease, which has turned 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So now we're going to do a single through the next one. So pulling a single fuchsia and then a pink through all of those. Oh, don't lose your bands. So single fuchsia and then pink. The next one's going to be a decrease, so we'll go pull a fuchsia through the next one, hold it there, pull a fuchsia through the next one after that, and then pull a pink through all of those. Next is a single. So we're going single, double, so single stitch and then a decrease, putting 2 together, and then a single stitch and then a decrease, putting 2 together. So single pulled through. You can look back and you can see your stitches. It's a double gone into 1, single. Next one's going to be a double, so the next red, pull a fuchsia through, keep it there. Next red, pull a fuchsia through, keep it there, grab the pink, go through all of those on your hook, move on to the next red, which is a single, fuchsia through, and a pink through all. Next is a double, so next red, fuchsia through, next red after that, fuchsia through, and then a pink through all of those. Sorry guys if you're losing me off picture. Going on to the next stitch is a single, and then a pink on there. The next is a double decrease, so pulling one through that red stitch, going to the next red stitch, pulling a fuchsia through that stitch, and then a pink through all of those. So we're going to do that all the way around. Single stitch and then a decrease, the two together. Single stitch, and then a decrease. So the next one. So I'm going to fast forward and I will come back to you when I get all the way back around. Okay, so I'm just coming up back to where we started. Single, so decrease. We're going to finish, or you should be finishing if you're doing the small heart on a decrease. So that last one there, just slip another band through there and then go into that pink. Pull a pink through all of those bands. Oop. Don't lose your bands, don't lose your bands. At least with Amigurumi it is fairly forgiving. Okay, I've just claimed all my bands back. So we've finished that row. You have decreased, it should look something like that. Moving on to the next row, we are going to do exactly the same thing again. So adding a fuchsia, adding a red, there's our single. We're going to go decrease, so the next pink there, in, grabbing a fuchsia, next pink, pulling a fuchsia through there as well, and then grabbing a red, pulling it through all of those. So on to our next row, we're going to go all the way around again, single, double decrease, single, double decrease. So single band, and then through the next one, the next two pink stitches, pull a fuchsia, and join them with a red. I will fast forward and I'll come back to you when I'm back around to the start. Just keep going with your single and then joining the two with the double, single, join the two with the double. Okay, so I'm almost back at the start. Just got to do my last decrease. So fuchsia through the pink, fuchsia through the next pink, and then joining with a red. Last stitch is just a single, pull your fuchsia through, and then we're going to grab, so that's where we've just pulled the fuchsia through. Now we're going to grab, pardon me, the next red, which was the first red of our line. Grab a single red band and pull it through all of those. So we've finished that line, we've finished that row. There's our heart there. Okay, so for those of you that did do a bigger pieces, a bigger heart, you're going to have to do another row of exactly what we just did. So going on to your next colour, which for me is pulling a fuchsia through and then pulling through a pink. For those of you that are doing a bigger heart, you will need to go single and then again double decrease, single, double decrease, single, double decrease. Exactly what we just did for the last two rows. But if you're doing a heart that is the same size as me, so you're doing exactly the same one as what I've got here, you will need to do a decrease in every stitch. So to finish it off, we will go decrease in every stitch. So just putting the one fuchsia through that red and not finishing the pink, then going on to the next red and pulling a fuchsia through, not losing it. So we've got our first stitch with just a fuchsia, our second stitch with just a fuchsia. Now we're going to pull a pink through. And we're going to do that again. The next red stitch, pull a fuchsia through, keep it. The next stitch after that, pull a fuchsia through, keep it, and then grab a pink, pull it through all those stitches. And again, following around, next red stitch, pull a fuchsia through, and keep it. Next red stitch, pull the fuchsia through, keep it, and then pink. So every stitch we are decreasing, we are turning two stitches into one. Next red stitch, fuchsia through, next red stitch, fuchsia through, and the pink. Alright. So it's going to be, that opening will be half the size by the time we finish this round. Next fuchsia, next fuchsia, and then pink. Okay, coming up to the last ones. So next red, pulling a fuchsia through, next red, pulling a fuchsia through, and then a pink. Oop, not flicking it. I must be getting tired. So last couple of stitches, that's where we're up to. Next red, pulling a fuchsia through, last red, we'll pull a fuchsia through. So there is already, that's the one we started with, but because it was the starter, we'll just use it again to stop us from getting a hole, and then we'll go into that first pink. So I've actually just added an extra fuchsia band in there, but it's just to stop us from getting an annoying little hole there somewhere. But that's our last row done There's your heart. This is where you're going to need to use an extra hook to make it a bit easier. So that's what it should look like, and just grab yourself some stuffing if you want to find something to stuff your heart. You can use Hobby Fill toy stuffer, you can use cotton buds, whatever you like. At the moment, while we've got that hole, so slip that up there, you can have a look and stretch your heart out. You can decide if you want to fold it the other way, so inside out, if you like the look of it in the other way, but I'm just going to leave mine as it is. Now I've got a bit of just toy stuffing here. You won't need very much of it. So with your band up on your hook so you don't lose it, go to that hole, stretch your bands around so that they're more comfortable in themselves. Like I said, decide if you want to use that side or the opposite. Ooh. As you can hear, we got a bit of a storm at the moment. So yeah, you can see the join, so where we've done each of the rows where we've come back to start, you can see on one side, but it shouldn't be too obvious. So anyway, grab your stuffing, start stuffing it into the center there. Like I said, you won't need much. I'm only going to use a little bit more, I think. That's pretty much it, I think. Don't really need much more at all. So get it to the point that you want it, so that all your stuffing is out of the way. You can fiddle with it after you've stitched it up. Might put a little bit more in there. Make this one a little bit fatter than my last one. Okay, I like that. That's good. So this is what we've got on the top. All those little teardrops is our last row. What I want you to do is grab your stitching colour, so my fuchsia. I'm going to go straight through that one that we've got there, just add it to it. Then go into the next stitch right next to that, pull one through. So I'm going from the inside to the outside. Next stitch. So you saw what I did, I just pulled one through and kept it. Going to the next stitch, pulling one through, keeping it. So we've now got 3 there. Going to the next stitch, pulling one through, keeping it. Now what I want you to do to make it a bit easier is grab 2 single fuchsia, pull them through all of the bands you've got on your hook and reclaim, so you've just got those 2. Now flip it over, push them up that hook, grab your second hook. Remember we were going from the inside to the outside, so onto the next stitch. Pull a fuchsia band through, reclaim, onto the next stitch, pull a fuchsia band through, reclaim. You can do this all on one hook if you think you can, go for it, but I find it's easier using 2. And the last stitch there, pulling a fuchsia band through, reclaiming like so. Now we want to grab that band there. So if you can shuffle it all the way up your hook, it's probably easiest, and pull it off. So we've got that side. Pull that through all of those bands, those 2 single bands that are through those ones. Pull that side of it through all of those bands on that hook. And reclaim off your initial hook. So now we've got those 2 single bands running through all of those stitches there. What I want you to do is slip knot them to each other. So slip knot, pull it nice and firm but not too tight because you don't want to snap them. And that is the bottom of your heart done. What you can do is knot those bands if you like. If you're going to turn it into a balloon like so, you can incorporate them, so you can actually go back through the middle of underneath all them, grab those 2 bands that you've just used to knot it, put them on your hook, grab 2 more single bands, pull them through all of that and reclaim, then grab 2 more single bands, whatever colour you like, pull them through, reclaim, 2 more single bands, whatever colour you like, pull them through, reclaim. So you can see we are doing a straight chain. Keep going just with those 2 single bands through. That rain is getting harder for me outside, so I might just have to finish it up there. You would keep going and doing that chain, and you will end up with a heart balloon. And then to finish it off at the end, I did a little bow on a band, and I just tied the band around that pink row there. So it looks like that last row that we've got here with that band is the bottom of the balloon. So I've tied it around there, and it's just poking out the bottom. And yeah, so that's how I finished off that one to make it look like a balloon. Then you can also get just a clear band and join it to the top. So where we've got the top of our 2 pieces joined, you can hang it and make it look like it's flying. But what I'm going to do for this one, I'm not going to have it as a heart balloon. I'm going to give it to my Mummsy, and I'll just take those 2 bands that we finished it with. I might just knot them a little bit better, so I'll knot them to the closest band. I'll do another little slip knot. Or even, without forcing them too much. Okay. Another little slip knot on there, so they're pretty much tied. And then I'll just reach in from anywhere on the balloon, pull those 2 little bands that we've got finished it off with, and hide them inside there. And there is the tip of my super cute Amigurumi heart. 3D squishy heart. I hope you love it. Sorry it was so rushed in a way, but I really just wanted to get this design out to you guys. Please like, subscribe and share if you do make some. I'd love to see them. And I hope that this was easy for you to follow and that you learned something new. I love you guys heaps. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time. Bye.